It's preparing. It is going. I am recording. We are live now. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate your time this evening. I know there's a lot of things that are going on, but I also know how important this is tonight. So I first thought there's a couple of housekeeping things I want to make sure that we cover before we turn it over to Dr. Ladd McNamara. First and foremost, we have the Step Up promotion, and this launched on Saturday. So hopefully you're aware of that already. If you are, you know that it's all about getting new customers, new associates. And so we're tying that into this heart health promotion that's starting tomorrow. And we figured what better way to start a heart health promotion than to have an expert in the field being able to share with us his knowledge and help give us some more information, some knowledge to help us basically get out there to talk to more people, to get more people on the product so that they can better their lives and support their health. So with that, all of this is really to help us grow our business, right? All of us is here to help us to be able to get our knowledge and to just better ourselves, better our knowledge, better our businesses. And so I have the privilege this evening of being able to welcome Dr. Ladd McNamara. And Dr. Ladd is an Emerald Director with USANA. In 2013, he was the Dr. Wentz Vision Award finalist. And you can also see on the screen here, there's two websites for him, the laddmcnamara.com and the drladdvip.com. And both of those have more knowledge, more opportunities for you to get to know even more than what he's sharing here on the slides tonight. So tonight, he's going to be focusing on those products that are focused on our heart health. And, you know, if you want to expand on the knowledge in this, or if you want to expand on knowledge outside of these products and other USANA products, those are the best websites to go. And those sites are going to be on the page. So if you don't get it on this page, you're going to be able to catch it on other pages. And I know that there's going to be so much information shared tonight. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Every time that I listen to him, I get excited, and I end up actually, Dr. Ladd, I don't know if I've told you this before, but I've had the privilege of hearing you speak in several different arenas and several different locations. Yeah. And hearing you and the information that you share has changed the regimen that I take. I've added more and more each time I hear you talking about products. So I know that for those of you who aren't on these products yet, by the end of this call, you're going to probably add these to your auto order or something. So anyway, without any further ado, Dr. Ladd, I am going to turn the time over to you.
Well, thank you, Nathan. I appreciate you. Appreciate all your support from the corporate home office. So thank you very much. And welcome, everyone. And tonight, as Nathan already announced, it's about heart health now more than ever. I mean, if you're not going to take the time now, when are you going to do it? And these products that I'm going to talk about tonight that will focus on that. And given that it's Valentine's month, and we're going to also kind of focus on the heart for that regard as well. For those of you who do not know me, I've been with USANA since 1995. My mom introduced me to the company or to the products back then. She basically gave me the products, and I was like, I don't need these. I'm a medical doctor. As a matter of fact, it's kind of, you know, they just go to waste in your urine or whatever. But that's not the experience that I had when my mom finally sent me the products. She sent me a set of essentials, the forerunner to the Cell Essentials. This is back in 1995. And I started taking them. I felt more energy. I felt better. Overall, I recommended it to patients, saw some great results that I could not deny the change in their health that was happening. And so I had to find out more about USANA, about the founder, about the company, about the manufacturing. And I have whole lectures on the manufacturing process and all that. But tonight we're going to focus on certain products. For those, I practice as a board certified OBGYN in Atlanta, Georgia, and retired from that, published medical research, and then spoke around the world. And as Nathan said, there's many opportunities that we were on the trail together speaking. So appreciate that. And you can find out more from me from my websites, as Nathan mentioned. Now, I mentioned the essentials. Those were the things that my mom first sent me in 1995. I had no idea about whether they were good or not. I looked at the bottle. It said 60 milligrams, or not 60. And I said 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C or something like that. And I thought, my goodness, they're going to kill somebody. You know, it's like they don't know what that's 2,000% above the recommended dietary allowance, USRDA. And that's how little I knew back then. But I decided to just kind of risk my life and go ahead and take the products every day. And what was a big step from taking, just a multivitamin once a month, which is what I was doing, to taking USANA essentials, which are now the Cell Essentials, 2 tablets out of each bottle twice daily. But it made a huge difference in my life, and it made and many people's other lives that I've seen. We'll focus on the heart health, blood vessel health. Now, cardiovascular health is a combination of the cardio, heart, and vasculature, the blood vessels, the arteries, and the veins. That's what we'll focus on. And many people will go right to the heart health products, proflavanol and coquinone, et cetera, and Biomega. And those are beneficial, don't get me wrong, but many people skip over how truly important, how truly fantastic the Cell Essentials are. They're so loaded with many vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that it just truly blew me away. And even now, when I get new customers and talk to them and show them the Cell Essentials and what's all in them, it's truly is impressive. So regarding the heart is just a big group of muscles, right? They need oxygen, they need sugar, glucose, because that's what your metabolism burns off. That's what everything burns off of sugar, unless you're into ketosis, and that's a different story, and other micronutrients. So the heart is made of these synchronized muscles, a group of muscles that according to the body's demands, if it needs more oxygen because you're running, then your heart's going to pump faster and put out more pressure. So as the pressure is needed, it'll pump harder. For example, if I were to sitting down and all of a sudden stand up, I need more pressure to make it go up, to fight gravity, to go up to my head so I don't pass out. So the heart responds and pushes more blood out, make sure it goes into your brain to keep you from falling over and hurting yourself. So again, the heart will pump faster or slower based upon the needs that the signals that are being received. Now, here's the one big thing is that the heart, being a muscle itself and a series of muscles, it needs many micronutrients to nourish those cells, to keep them beating all the time, let alone the blood vessels. It needs oxygen for the energy, and I'll show you that in a second, and for it to be able to beat at all, let alone beat faster. And it also has a more demand for oxygen and glucose. So let's look at that for a second. The mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cell, is where energy is basically converted. It's converted from glucose and oxygen and converted into ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Those are the energy molecules in your body. You can't do anything. Your heart can't beat without the ATP, without the energy molecules. You cannot breathe because no muscles can be used. Your brain, you can't even think without the ATP. So this is actually metabolism, by the way. Metabolism is the conversion of oxygen and glucose into ATP, and as a byproduct, carbon dioxide, which you breathe out. So this is the process that needs to happen. And throughout this webinar, I want you to hopefully try to remember this, because it comes into play when we talk about the quality supplements. For this process to happen, among the many micronutrients that are needed, of note are magnesium, which can be found in the core minerals, as well as the magnesium in the MagnaCal D, a separate product, as well as the magnesium or the mineral calm. But either way, magnesium, also alpha lipoic acid, a very important antioxidant, and I'll talk about that in a second, and coenzyme Q10, a vitamin antioxidant. Those are needed in order to get glucose and oxygen to ATP. One thing I want to back up for a second. We're all made of molecules, we're made of atoms, they have nucleus, they have protons, neutrons, and surrounding the atoms are electrons. Everything that happens in the body biologically has to do with how those electrons are either shared with other atoms, making it into molecules, or how those electrons are transferred or moved along, as in the electron transport chain to convert glucose and oxygen into ATP. It's the transfer of electrons. So there's electrons transferring and moving. The flow of electrons as what it's all about. The exchange, the sharing, and the flow of electrons is how the whole body works. And it has all these fascinating mechanisms to make it happen. But for it to make it happen, we've got to make sure that we have plenty of micronutrients. We often don't eat like we should, and so therefore we can supplement our diet. And then another thing is that our body makes coenzyme Q10. You have plenty of it when you're young. You have so much of it, you can't even contain your energy. You're just bouncing off the walls and running through mud puddles and everywhere. But as you get older, you slow down a little bit. What you bend over for, how much money, you're going to pick up a nickel when when you're getting older, not feeling well? No, you lose the energy. You might bend over for a quarter, or then not even that. Then you bend over for $1. The point is, as you age, you get slow down, you get fatigued mostly because of these coenzyme Q10 is depleting, as well as these mitochondria. So we look at the cardiac muscle. Most of the mitochondria, in other words, the heart muscle has more mitochondria per cell than any other tissue group in your body because it needs the most energy. It's beating all the time, boom, 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 it's beating, and it requires energy. So therefore, since it requires so much ATP energy, it has a lot of mitochondria in each cell, which means it needs a lot of oxygen. It means a lot of glucose. So if your glucose levels bottom out, you can faint so easily. If you don't get enough oxygen, then what can happen? And that's not good for your heart, right? So we have different types of muscle. You have skeletal muscle, you have cardiac muscle, and you have smooth muscle. Skeletal muscle, as it says, those are the things that you're going to work out. Those are your voluntary muscles that you can move and make your body move. The cardiac muscle is what we're talking about, and the smooth muscles are in your organs, like in your intestines that have peristalsis to keep things moving along. They're obviously not voluntary muscles, but and they're also in the arteries. If you look at the average mitochondria per cell, the average cell has about 50 to 100 mitochondria per cell. The liver and brain demand a lot of energy because they do a lot of things. Your brain and liver, there's about 2,000 mitochondria per cell. The heart tops the list at about 5,000 mitochondria per each cell. You think about that, you would think, how can you fit anything else inside the cell other than the mitochondria? And that's pretty much correct for the heart cells, because its one function is to create energy or convert oxygen and glucose into ATP, use it to create a contraction for that to work. Plus your arteries have to be in good shape too. And there's smooth muscle in your arteries, but the whole lining of the artery must be in good shape. If you look at the artery and the vein, you can see that the arteries and the veins have connective tissue around it, like collagen. And like your skin, you have connective tissue to hold things together with your tendons and your muscles and keep the skin on there. So you have connective tissue that connects up this all. And then if you look in the artery, has a lot of smooth muscle around it, and the smooth muscle around the arteries are allowed to, so that if your heart pumps and you need to have more pressure of the blood going up into your brain, then your artery, not only will your heart pump harder, but your arteries will constrict down to get the pressure up as you need it. So the dilation of those arterial muscles can cause the lower pressure. The constriction of it causes the pressure to go up. So this going up and down of the blood pressure is a normal process that happens all the time, just according to what you're doing, whether you're moving, sleeping, or working. So the health of your cardiovascular system is everything. That's what we're talking about, how we do it. How do we keep it healthy? We keep the muscles healthy. We keep the blood vessels healthy. One of the things that would compromise our health of our blood vessel is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is what's called free radical oxidative damage and inflammation. Those two go hand in hand. So anytime that happens, you get this damage to cells, tissues, etc. Even the LDL cholesterol can get oxidized, and that's not a good thing. So what happens is that there are many things that can cause free radical oxidative damage, and that is shown in this slide here. If you look at it, this just shows that this slide shows that there's oxidative damage occurring to a DNA molecule, but that could be a collagen molecule. So if you break up the collagen, then your collagen is not going to have the elasticity, not only in your skin, but also around your arteries. Remember, if that collagen breaks down and it gets weaker, then all of a sudden your arteries are not working like they're supposed to. They're not functioning properly. Smoking of course, is a problem. And most people know that smoking is a problem, but they had no idea that most of the damage caused by cigarette smoking is from oxidative damage. These oxidative damage is the stripping away of electrons. Remember what I talked about earlier? Everything in the body is about electron flow, electron exchange, electron sharing. That's how everything happens. And what happens is if those electrons get stripped away, that's an oxidative state. And when we see that in metal, we call that rust. Or an apple, if you see it brown like that, that's oxidation. Or somebody that's got overly oxidized from too much sun. What does the sun do to their skin? Not only turns darker, but it also gets all leathery and damaged, the collagen damage because of the inflammation and the oxidation. So this is what can happen to our whole system, is that breaks down because of oxidative stress. We're all exposed to oxidative stress every single day. Some of us are exposed to more of it, like say a 2-pack-a-day smoker would be exposed to more oxidative stress or free radicals. But just metabolizing, just existing, just exercising. So you see it on the far left of the screen, the metabolism here. It shows the mitochondria. The higher metabolism is up, even from stress or from exercising, it's putting off more free radicals. So there's a way we can counter the free radical damage, and that is through antioxidants, right? Because if we're getting oxidized, we use antioxidants. This is just covering the fact that cigarette smoking is an example of just how much free radical oxidative damage is not good for you and not good for your health, because it can cause all sorts of problems. So when you have now, luckily we have antioxidants that donate electrons. Remember, it's electron flowing. It donates electrons and it neutralizes the free radical. Being neutralized, it can't do any more harm. So think of things like spikes going around or on like fireballs, inside your body. They're getting quenched, they're getting put out, extinguished by the antioxidants. And there are both endogenous, or ones that you create in your body, as well as exogenous, or ones that you eat, like from fruits and vegetables, we get antioxidants. Now, we get a bunch of antioxidants in our products. If you're taking the USANA's Vita antioxidant and core minerals, whether they're in the health pack or whether they're in the 2 bottles that I showed you at the beginning, you're getting, this is just an example of some of the antioxidants that's provided. The vitamin C and E, grapeseed extract, I'll talk about in a minute because it's so powerful. That's the proflavanol. Resveratrol, also from the red grape, that's in the USANA Cell Essential, or Cell Essentials, the Vita antioxidant, part of the intelligence complex. But there's pterostilbene, marsupium, the one in the antioxidant booster. The antioxidant booster in the health pack is something that's really considered because it goes along with grapeseed extract and resveratrol as the trio. So if you thought resveratrol was good and grapeseed extract was good, then you should know how good the pterostilbene is, along with the quercetin and alpha-lipoic acid in that antioxidant booster. Powerful, and that would complete the trio. The curcumin or turmeric extract, N-acetyl L-cysteine or NAC, quercetin, asparagine, alpha-lipoic acid, green tea extract. Again, these are the ones that are in the intelligence complex, and the coenzyme Q10 as well. Powerful antioxidants. If you knew what they did, you're taking them every day. I remember Dr. Wentz, the founder of USANA, saying that years ago. He said, if you knew what these products would do, or could do, or are doing, you would never miss them. You would never miss them for a day. You'd never miss a dose. And that's and I believe that, and I've seen that with myself, seen it myself. So again, the Cell Essentials antioxidant booster is available in the My Health Pack or the Health Pack itself. It provides quercetin, a powerful antioxidant, alpha-lipoic acid, also not only a powerful antioxidant, but do you remember the mitochondria? It requires the magnesium, the coenzyme Q10, and alpha-lipoic acid to function, to create the energy. So they have there for not only help support energy in the body, but also to help support heart health. We keep the mitochondria going. Olive extract, olive oil, and the Pterocarpus marsupium, which is the pterostilbene. That's the trio with the grapeseed extract, proflavanol, and the resveratrol in the Vita antioxidant. So these are just very unique ingredients, and they work synergistically better than any of them could separately. I know a lot of people will go out and just get something, get this or get that, or get N-acetylcysteine, or get alpha lipoic acid, but they'll forget really the whole complex of it. And that's what USANA has done so expertly. The endogenous antioxidants, the ones that you have in your body that quench the free radicals. Remember, your mitochondria are just burning up the glucose and the oxygen, just like an engine, and putting out, just like an engine in your car, and putting out a lot of fire. If it wasn't cooled off, it would just explode. Maybe that's where spontaneous combustion comes from, is when you don't have enough antioxidants. I'm joking about that, but anyway, the powerful antioxidants that you create are glutathione, peroxidase, catalase, superoxide dismutase. Among those are the three big ones. There are others, but glutathione, for example, that's a powerful antioxidant. And did you know that N-acetyl-L-cysteine is a precursor to glutathione? So by taking that, you're boosting up your glutathione. But your body makes these antioxidants, and they're much more powerful than the ones that you could consume. So having these around are very important to your health, and they protect your mitochondria from decaying. But as we age, those antioxidants your body makes fewer and fewer of those antioxidants. But fortunately, in the Cell Essentials, they have the intelligence technology, the renewal technology. Not only do the Cell Essentials provide the micronutrients for nourishment of the cells, but also in the antioxidants for protection from oxidative stress that we're exposed to in many different ways. But the intelligence complex renews certain cellular components, which changes the whole game. And the fact that USANA put all this into the foundational products is why I'm spending so much time talking about this, because they're so critically important to that everybody should be taking this. That's my belief anyway. So when we look at antioxidants, one molecule of vitamin C can neutralize one free radical, 1 for 1. Well, one endogenous antioxidant enzyme like glutathione can neutralize hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of free radicals per minute. Just spins them off, extinguishes those free radicals. That's how important those endogenous antioxidants are. But they're not in a bottle. They're in your body, but they're improved by the renewal process and the intelligence technology. That's what you have with USANA. That's what you're getting. You don't see those three main components of nourishment, protection, and renewal put in by any other company to put it together like that with such quality. Let's look at this. Is another picture, or not picture, but a graphic of a healthy mitochondria. It is using sugar and oxygen converting into ATP. In the process, free radicals are being generated just as just the creation of ATP creates free radicals. So it has all this stuff that will burn up the mitochondria, let alone burn up the cell as well. But if it weren't for the endogenous antioxidants protecting this mitochondria, the mitochondria would just be near useless in a very short period of time. Shortly after it got started up, it would just have a nuclear meltdown, like a nuclear power plant without the control rods in there. All of a sudden, you have a meltdown process. So what happens is you start to get a little older, or may have some other issues going on, and your health is starting to wane a little bit. You might get sluggish mitochondria. It's not producing the ATP energy molecules like they should, and so you're not feeling the energy like you should, and you're not feeling the strength that you should, because remember, your muscles require energy, ATP, to be able to function at their optimum. So does your heart, so does your brain. And so what happens now, you're producing less ATP, and there's less endogenous antioxidants. And now you have an age and decaying mitochondria. And this is not just with the one mitochondria. This has happened throughout all the cells in the mitochondria, and in particularly the ones that are affected more. As a matter of fact, search out mitochondrial decay. Mitochondrial decay goes along with oxidative damage, oxidative stress, is at the core of most people's unhealthiness. Okay, there's healthy and there's not healthy. Healthy, you've got healthy mitochondria. Unhealthy, no matter what it is, mitochondrial decay is probably part of it, including not having the energy to to function at your optimum. So mitochondrial decay is the huge thing that the intelligence technology helps renew. It helps stop and renew. Because what happens is the intelligence, the micronutrients, this complex of intelligence technology, it signals to the DNA in your cells to create more endogenous antioxidants. So although with age and certain health conditions, you wouldn't make that many, but this signals to do it. Number one. So now you have more endogenous antioxidants to protect your mitochondria from damage. And two, it signals mitophagy. Mitophagy is the recycling of these decaying mitochondria. Think of that. As your mitochondria starts to decay and get all burned up, the cell starts to take the component pieces of it and create new mitochondria. But like mitochondria are like a cell within a cell. And just like one cell creates, the way it divides into two cells. When these new mitochondria are made, guess what? You get two. It's a binary, or it's duplication. So what you have is that you have a renewal process. So now the cell has more energy. Your tissues have more energy. You might notice the more energy. Many people do. But the point is that the mitochondrial decay is being compensated for. The free radical oxidative damage is being compensated for with more endogenous antioxidants. And guess what? With renewed and protected mitochondria, guess what beats better? Your heart. Guess what functions better? Your heart and your whole cardiovascular system. Just the way it's meant to be designed, because now it can be healthier. Of course, that's why you want to have as a foundation the body antioxidants and core minerals, 2 twice daily every day. The one thing I'm also going to suggest as a heart support supplement is the Biomega, our pure fish oil supplement. When I say pure, I mean this, is that consumerlab.com have reviewed many different fish oil brands, and they found that many of them contained PCB contamination or had other problems, like had less than the omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA than they claimed on the bottle, or some were just totally rancid. So they had problems. About 30% of the brands were a problem. Well, when people usually buy supplements, where do they go? They go to the big super store, Mart, and go to, I guess, and they buy the cheapest supplement they can find. They can buy a jug of fish, 500 capsules for $1. Well, see, that's not going to be your quality supplement. I'm exaggerating, of course, but I'm not going to exaggerate about the quality of the Usana's product. It's the levels of EPA and DHA per serving. Each 2 capsules is a serving. You take 1 capsule twice daily, and you're going to be getting basically a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. So that's 2,000 milligrams total of the omega-3 fatty acids, with particularly those amounts that you see on the screen of the EPA and DHA. Plus the lemon oil in it helps reduce the fishy burp. A lot of people don't like to take fish oil capsules because of that fishy burp flavor taste they get, but very few people complain about it by putting the lemon oil in it. And also there's a little vitamin D in each capsule that also helps support the cell essentials and helps you support your body. The way that Usana is able to keep have such pure fish oil is that they use the small fish, and rather than large fish, and where you get the bioaccumulation of mercury or other toxins, not just mercury, but other toxins, PCBs and other contaminants that build up the food chain. In other words, through this double distillation process and using this small sardines and anchovies, small fish rather than large fish, they're able to get this highly purified fish oil free of PCBs or organic residues that can and do accumulate in your body and cause all sorts of problems. And dioxins is a poison, and that can be found in some supplements, but it's not found in Usana supplements. So that you can be sure of that. So are you going to save a few bucks and buy a jug of fish, or are you going to spend the right amount and get the value? That's what we're all looking for, is the value, right? With our products. The proflavanol is our grapeseed extract. It has grapeseed extract, which is a powerful antioxidant, and combines it with poly C, Usana's vitamin C, patented vitamin C product, which allows for higher vitamin C levels and prolonged vitamin C than just regular vitamin C. But the vitamin C, when combined with the grapeseed extract, it makes it much more powerful. The vitamin C replenishes the grapeseed extract and helps it keep going. So it makes it much like 20 times more potent or powerful, more with antioxidant potential than it would without that poly C, with vitamin C. And so it's a powerful system that since it quenches free radicals, where do free radicals exist? Everywhere throughout your body, from your skin to your brain to your eyes, to everywhere. It also helps support collagen. What's collagen part of? Well, it's a part of, well, yes, the skin, but it's part of your heart, part of your arteries. Remember that collagen that's around the arteries and around the veins as well. And then it's going to protect the lining, the endothelium, the lining of your arteries, which from that oxidative stress, which can be very problematic. So one of the things, I wanted to mention this. Well, I had many patients who had great results with USANA's proflavanol, just tremendous results. And I remember years ago, one patient in particular, she had such great results with the USANA's essentials and proflavanol that it changed her life. She said she had the energy she needed and much more. There was much more to the story, but the bottom line is it changed her life. But then about 4 or 5 months later, she called me up. She said, "Hey, Dr. McNamara, does the proflavanol wear off? Or does the grapeseed extract wear off on your body?" I said, "Or do you get used to it?" I said, "I don't know this." This is 1997 now. I said, I don't think so. I'd have to talk to the USANA scientists because I don't really know what's going on here, why you would stop working for you. But then before I hung up the phone, I said, "Legay, did you change brands?" And she said, "Yeah, I just went to the big store there and bought some cheaper grapeseed extract, but I made sure it was the same amount. I even doubled it. And it just didn't have the effect." And I said, "Well, I don't know if it'll make a difference or not, but just for 1 month, go back on the USANA products, go back in the Cell Essentials at the time, and the proflavanol. And at the same dose I suggested. And let me know after 1 month if you feel any different." It was 5 days back on the USANA product. She goes, "Oh my goodness, it's changed my life. I'm back to being normal, feeling great. The energy's there." So it just made a huge difference. And then she asked me this question. She said, Dr. McNamara, she said, "Why is the USANA's proflavanol so different? What makes it so different?" And I said, "I don't know. It just is. It works." That was my answer back then. But now I'm going to give you the answer that I found out from the USANA scientists a few years later. That is this: to be considered a quality grapeseed extract, this is on the slide now, a supplement has to contain or should contain at least 80% or more of the active ingredients. The active ingredients in a quality grapeseed extract include a group of antioxidants called proanthocyanidins, and the other one's monomers. So they just kind of work together. That's just those are the ingredients. Those are the ones that do all the antioxidant benefits provided. So many of the over-the-counter brands, however, may contain less than 20% of active ingredients with no monomers whatsoever. Some may have only 10% of the active ingredients. So therefore, if you think you're buying something that's 100 milligrams and it's really only 10 or 20 milligrams of the effective, what kind of value is that? You're paying less, but you're getting much, much less. Or you could be buying a very high quality product. USANA's proflavanol provides 90 to 95% of the active ingredients, including both the proanthocyanidins and the monomers. So just remember this adage here that I've been promoting for years, and that is cheap is never a value. It is never a value to go cheap because you're going to skimp on the things that are going to be the most important to your life, and that is your health, right? Proflavanol C, 200, comes in 100 milligrams and 200 milligrams. If you really care about your heart, in this Heart Healthy Month, now more than ever, because over the last few years, we've been having people who have been experiencing not heart health. They haven't had the heart health that they really wanted, and some serious concerns there. But I suggest now that it's not just 100 milligrams, but 200 milligrams twice daily, the proflavanol 200. If you can't afford it, then at least be on the proflavanol 100 milligrams. But if you can tolerate it, both financially and any other way, you want to quench this free radical oxidative damage, and that proflavanol is one of the best supplements for stopping free radical oxidative damage that I know of. And then, of course, your metabolism. It helps support that by protecting the damage to the mitochondria along with the endogenous antioxidants. So this whole process of electron flow and creating more energy so that your heart can beat and continue to function for years to come, that's what we have. Again, the cardiac muscle is the most mitochondria per cell. 5,000 mitochondria per cell. It needs the glucose, it needs the oxygen, it needs the oxidative the antioxidants to protect against the significant oxidative stress that those mitochondria are putting out. They're burning up glucose and burning up oxygen like crazy, but making free radicals in the process. And that's why you need to have the essentials, the Biomega. The Biomega is not an antioxidant, but it helps support heart health nonetheless. And then the proflavanol. And the last one to talk about tonight is the coquinone. The coenzyme Q10, plus it has alpha lipoic acid, and we have coquinone 30 and the coquinone 100. I suggest, again, the 100 milligrams is the way to go and it's one twice daily. Sometimes when people are athletes, triathletes, marathoners, others, whether you're professional or not, I suggest to take more. Sometimes I tell them to take 200 milligrams, 300 milligrams twice daily. That's because they're using those muscles. The heart is pounding, it's doing the work. And so since it's doing so much work, it needs more energy. And where does it get the energy from? By creating more ATP in the mitochondria. And what's required for that ATP? Coenzyme Q10 and alpha lipoic acid, among other things, right? So therefore, now as we age and our levels of coenzyme Q10, from age 20 to age 80, our coenzyme Q10 levels fall off by 50%. But by taking the coquinone 100 milligrams twice daily, you're going to keep that level up to the levels that you had when you were in your 20s, right? It supports cellular health. It assists in energy production. Why? Because where do the mitochondria exist? The mitochondria exist in every single cell except for red blood cells, because they all need energy. If you need energy, the only way you're going to get it is from the mitochondria, and that mitochondria has to be protected from decaying, and it has to be given the energy with the coquinone. It supports muscle function, as we've been saying, heart muscle, skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and of course, it supports cellular health of all organs because of the very reason, because of energy production needed for that cell to carry out its function. But everything centers around you being healthy, right? And that has to do with the heart. So I'm going to say at least when people start the supplements, they're going to start the Vita Antioxidants, core minerals, 2 twice daily, and the Biomega, 1 twice daily. That's a good starting dose for most people. And now that it's a heart healthy month, and now that we need it more than ever, and particularly as you're seeing that the issues and the concerns that people have, then you need to be aware of how powerful, how potent the proflavanol C200 and the coquinone 100 are in able to help maintain healthy heart. And that's what it's all about, supporting that. And I think Nathan said that tomorrow there's going to be a special on some of these products, and Nathan can come back on, I guess, and restate that if you'd like, because I'm done with this, with my part. But tomorrow I know there's a special on, I think it's the proflavanol, coquinone, and Biomega, is it not, Nathan?
Yeah, that is correct. It is those 3 products, the Biomega, proflavanol, and the coquinone. You can go to my Instagram page. I think I posted it on Facebook as well. We kind of pre-launched it a little bit today, but you'll see communications, and it's going to be on the hub all tomorrow. It's our heart health pack. Cool. So yeah, so you talked about, I mean, you added the Cell Essentials in, that's the basic vitamins and nutritions that we recommend. And then the 3 Biomega, coquinone, and proflavanol are all within the heart health promotion that, again, launches tomorrow, goes for a couple weeks. The details, you heard it here first. And then again, it looks like we have a very international group here. I saw somebody, I think it was from Indonesia, that's on even. So I don't know if that's a global promotion necessarily. I just know that here in the US, that is the promotion that we have going on. So I can't speak globally, but I can speak for the US. that is what is happening. So thank you so much, Dr. Ladd. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your expertise and your willingness to jump on and to share with us your knowledge with
Thank you very much.
products.
Well, thanks for the opportunity, Nathan. I appreciate it. And I hope everyone does take action and also get the people that you love on this, because remember, it's Valentine's is not just about your sweetheart. It's about all the people you love. And if you love them, you're going to want to keep them healthy. And these are the products that do it. I truly, truly know it. After what, 20, I don't know how many years it's been, but it's been a lot. So it's
Been a
1995,
long time.
almost 30 years. So 27 years, whatever. Anyway, a lot of years.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much. That again, as I mentioned in the beginning, every time that I hear Dr. Ladd speak, I change my regimen. Luckily, I'm already on these products, so I have them in my regular routine. So I'm not going to be needing to add them, but it just reiterates to me the importance of what these products can do to help support our health and especially support our heart too. So again, thanks so much, Ladd. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. And we'll hopefully see you on our next webinar. We have another one that's coming up next week in the middle of the heart health promotion that reiterates from Carol Ebert and Cindy Snow are going to be the two associates that are going to jump on. They're going to share their knowledge on this as well. So
Cool.
Again, thanks so much, Ladd. Appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time and hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Yes, have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.